Yes, exactly. I'm here this morning with Ms. Nicole Vanderpool. She's a representative of the Seizure Awareness Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning.
Good
Welcome.
morning. Thanks
for
having
being
us
here.
again.
So it's Purple Month.
It is.
Yes, I don't have a purple ribbon. I need to change that.
Okay, I can rectify that.
Really?
Yes, I'll
All right,
send
well,
one
I'm
for you.
looking forward to that. So the Seizure Awareness Foundation, they did a conference last year on seizure awareness, and this year will be your second.
Second, yes.
So tell us about the conference.
Okay, it's taking place on this Sunday at the Central Bank Auditorium in Port of Spain. We have 3 different doctors. They're all neurologists. But last year we had Dr. Wendell Bob, and he's Trinidadian born, but he came in from the US. So this year we have a total local team. They're all at Mount Hope and NWRHA.
Oh, excellent.
So we have Dr. Patrick Knight. He's the neurosurgeon that did the first fully awake craniotomy for brain tumor removal in somebody that was presenting with seizures. So he's going to be one of our featured speakers. We have Dr. Paula Robertson, and we have Dr. Avidesh Pandey. He's a neurologist as well.
Wow, so we have the best of the best on
definitely,
this panel discussion, definitely. And the Seizure Awareness Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago, what do you do on a daily?
Okay, we have our Seizure Smart campaign that we take through the schools and organizations. We work together with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health. And we go into schools where we have identified children or members of staff with epilepsy, and we do what is called our Seizure Smart lecture, so that we go into what is epilepsy, how it's treated, and of course, very important, first aid for seizures.
Well, let's answer some of those questions right now, actually. When it comes to the numbers of Trinidad and Tobago, do you have numbers of how many people are on record with epilepsy?
Sure, we have an estimate from PAHU and of course collective information from the doctors here. We estimate at about 40,000 people living right here in Trinidad and Tobago with epilepsy.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a significant number.
It definitely is. So we need to start the conversation.
And we need to get a better understanding of how to treat with epilepsy. You know, even for those who don't have it, if we see somebody experiencing a seizure episode, you know, how we can assist or how we could, you know, help protect them in whatever environment it may be. So yes, please give us some information. What would be the best thing for a bystander to do if they realize someone having the type of seizure that comes with convulsions and such?
Right, so I'm glad you mentioned that, because there are 40 different types of seizures. 40 different types.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them present only in childhood. Some of them present hormonally, some of them. So there are 40 different types. The type that we're most familiar with is what we call the tonic-clonic convulsive seizure. That's stiffening and jerking. So when we have a little acronym that we use that you can just think about to assist somebody who's having one of those tonic-clonic convulsive seizures, and it's simply action. A, you assess the situation, we remove any tables or chairs that they might hit their head on, fall or hit their head on or injure themselves. C, cushion their head, certainly, because you want to cushion the impact of the head against the hard surface.
Right.
T, time the seizure. If a seizure goes beyond 5 minutes, you definitely have to take that person to the ER if they are known epileptic. However, if it is your first seizure, you definitely take that person to the ER to ascertain what's the cause of the seizure. Where am I? Most people have identifying bracelets or chains that they wear for maybe asthma, allergic to penicillin. With epilepsy, it's quite different because of the stigma and the discrimination that comes with epilepsy. You'll find a lot of people not willing to wear to be identified as epileptic, and that's one thing we need to also change, and that will come through education. Or after the shaking phase of the seizure is over, you turn that person in the recovery position, which is on the left side, so that they can now have air, and any drool or vomit or anything that will come out of them, that they might produce, will come out of their mouth. And N, most important, you never ever put anything in the mouth of somebody who's having no gag, no rag, no ruler, certainly not your hand.
Right.
Yeah, in the mouth of somebody who's having a seizure.
Definitely. So everybody needs to take action when they observe that and see how best they can help the situation and not worsen it.
Definitely.
Of course. You drew reference to something very important. Some people are not really willing to wear the identification bands because of the stigma attached to epilepsy.
Yes.
What are some of the common misconceptions of epilepsy?
Yes, still people think because you have seizures or epilepsy that you're demon possessed. Long ago, there were actually laws against people who have epilepsy, preventing them from working, even marrying. Back in slavery days, if you had a slave and they were found to have epilepsy, you could have returned that slave. So these are things that came down through the ages, and we just need to educate people. Epilepsy is simply a neurological condition characterized by recurring seizures, and it can happen to anyone.
What would you say to someone who may be deeply religious, or have traditional beliefs of different religious themes, who comes to someone with epilepsy right now and tells them, this is happening because you have a demon in you? What would you say to that person directly?
Okay, we have had that situation actually, and you're preventing this person from getting the medical assistance that they need. Sure, people believe in God, and you definitely need to pray for healing if you believe in healing as well. But don't prevent somebody from getting the medical assistance that they need because of, check it out first. Do a CT scan. There are tests to determine whether or not this is neurological. You have an electroencephalogram, which is an EEG, which most people are familiar with.
Right. You
have a CT scan, MRIs, and you definitely go to the doctor and check it out to see what's happening.
And just to back tag the information on the conference coming up, date, time, location.
Sure. Seizure Awareness Conference happening this Sunday, 10th of November at the Central Bank Auditorium in Port of Spain. We start promptly at 3 o'clock. We have a very, very, very packed program. So we're asking all our guests to be seated at least 2:45. Yes?
Yes.
And for further information, you can check our Facebook page, Instagram page, or call 737-0535 for further information.
Thank you so much, Nicole Van Der Poel, representative of the Seizure Awareness Foundation, Trinidad and Tobago, sharing this wonderful information. Looking forward to the outcome of the conference, your second one.
Yes.
And thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're going to take a short break and come right back. Stay with us.